welcome back to the channel and welcome back to the interior of the MSRT Ranger. Now, I've had this car for about 4 weeks now, and let me tell you something, this has turned out to be the handiest vehicle that I have ever owned. I'm talking being able to move things, being able to tow cars. I've towed the E21 down to Goodwood, I've towed the drift car all the way to Poland. I managed to pick up a load of my mum's garden stuff the other day, filled it full of hydrangeas. Honestly, 10 out of 10 for utility vehicle. But on to today's video. I think the word dream car gets bandied about quite a lot. And these days, I'll be honest, I look at a lot of cars and I kind of think, yeah, that's nice, that's cool, like I wouldn't mind one of those. Today, I'm driving my dream car. This gives me a feeling when I look at it that I haven't felt for a very long time. It's a proper knee rubber. It gives you tingles in your tits. That's all I can really say about it. I'm very excited because in my sort of list of cars that I'd like to own in my lifetime, my next step is like I'd absolutely love a 992 GT3, but obviously the top boy is the 992 GT3RS. Even better if you can get it in a fancy colour, even better if you can get it in the Vicec pack. Well, guess what, lads? We're going to drive one today, and this one has a super sporty, sick exhaust on it. So I'm just very excited. I'm very grateful to Porsche Centre Wolverhampton for giving me the opportunity to drive this thing. But yeah, I don't know. I know what's going to happen. I'm going to drive this and then I'm going to have to sit there and think about, do all the man maths to figure out how I'm going to get one of these because they're nuts. And I'm just so excited. It's been a while since I've driven a car that I am absolutely raring to go to drive it. Chomping at the bit, as they would say. So let's get into it. Let's go take a look at this GT3RS. It looks fucking amazing. I mean, just look at it. It is one of the best looking cars that is available on the market. I mean, I know that's subjective, but I just absolutely love this thing. This is the 992 GT3RS. Finish and paint to sample, Gulf Orange. It's a work of art. I just absolutely love this thing. Like the second that I saw it, I fell in love. I mean, I originally wanted a 991 GT3RS in lava orange. Now, as I said, this is PTS Gulf Orange, which is a flat, it's not a metallic. It does look fantastic. I feel like when you've got so much going on with all of the aero, all of the body styling, when you have a flat colour, it just kind of accentuates all of its lines. I mean, there is so much air management on this vehicle. I mean, even with the wing here, like this has got DRS. As I was driving down the road, I was just hitting the button all the time, just watching this little flap go up and down. I mean, I know that's like such a minor thing in comparison when you kind of put the whole package together. But like when you give somebody who's always wanted a race car for the road, that's exactly how it makes you feel. That's how a car of your dreams should make you feel. Like back in the day when we had homologation specials, if you bought yourself a Mitsubishi Evo 6, a Tommy Mac edition, you wanted to feel like Tommy Mac out on the stage driving this thing. Well, ladies and gentlemen, this is the car to make you feel like Verstappen on the road. It's unreal. Like, I just love so much of it. Like, all of the carbon everywhere. I mean, this whole entire front section here, obviously they've done away with the front trunk because there is a huge radiator pushing air back up the sides of the car. Oh, sorry, scared the life out of me there. Sorry, guys. Horsepower, maybe about 60. This is 515. The real horses genuinely just scared the living daylights out of me as I was walking around this car like a lunatic in the countryside. I mean, yeah, even the staggered wheels, it's got centre lock magnesium staggered wheels. It's got 20s on the front, 21s on the rear. But anyway, talking about this, look at these louvers here. Like, there's so much air being pushed around the car. Like this side vent, this is actually where the indicator is here. Everything. Apparently, when you've been running this car for a while, you can put your hand here on the back of the car and it will actually be hot, but the roof won't be because that's the way all of the air is being funneled up and across into this massive wing. I mean, this actually comes up to my chest. Like, that is absolutely crazy. And with the DRS as well, this whole car is designed for downforce. This car does actually have the Vicec package on as well. I mean, look at these air blades. Like, it is just sexual. Like, I've never been in love with a car as much as I am with this GT3RS. It is the ultimate pie in the sky for me. What I do enjoy about this car is the way Porsche works is they just refine everything until it's absolutely pretty much nigh on perfect. Like the 991 GT3RS, this doesn't have a massive power upgrade over it. I think it's only about 10 or 15 brake horsepower. But what they have done is they have made this the ultimate machine. They've gone back to the drawing board, they've gone back to the laboratory and said, how do we make this car as mechanically perfect for what we want it to do, which is obviously going around racetracks and driving around roads in Wolverhampton, clearly. I mean, obviously, we all know this amazing engine. It is the 4-litre flat six. It's got the 7-speed PDK gearbox in it. It is a monster. I mean, this one as well has got a straight-through decat exhaust on it, which sounds magical. Like, I genuinely got so excited when I got behind the wheel of it. But going back to those power outputs, I mean, 525 PS. It's not huge, but what they have done is made it extremely usable. Like, if you were using this on a racetrack, you would be able to positively put it down on the ground and enjoy it. Once you get into a power figure race, it is just like, why are we all actually doing this? You want to be able to use it. And by God, this thing, it wants you to use it. I would love to actually take this to a racetrack and see what it could do, because there is so much downforce. I was just so excited to drive this thing, because, I mean, just everything about it just excites me. I mean, it revs to 9,000 RPM. It's got max power at 8,500 RPM, and it's max torque at 6,300. Just driving it over to this spot here, I gave it a little pull as we were going onto the motorway, and it's just sick up the gears. The 7-speed PDK, obviously it's got shorter gear ratios than the GT3. Only about 10-15 brake horsepower over the GT3, but like I said, we were talking about all of that active aero, all of that air management, which makes this really the race car version. And just unbelievable. I mean, it's got a lightweight flywheel in there. There's just so much going on. But we'll put it all together into a package, and it is just a neat bundle of amazingness. And I haven't been this excited about driving a car for a long time, which is great, because, you know, when you're in this game, you kind of get a little bit desensitized to things. I'm around race cars a lot, but this genuinely gives me like that, oh, I can't wait to drive it. Let's have a quick look in here as well. When you jump in, this is the Visec package, so it's got the carbon roll cage in here as well. Let's just jump in. Oh, everything just feels, well, it just feels like Porsche, you know, like it's just quality, even down to just like the Alcantara everywhere. I love the bucket seats. The carbon roll cage is so nice. This is what dreams are made of. This is the car that I eventually, you heard it here first, I want to get myself one of these. I think we'll start with the 992 GT3 and then we'll head towards the GT3RS. Don't know how long it's going to take me to do it, but we're definitely going to do it, guys. You heard it here first. Unbelievable. Once you actually sit into the driving seat here, there are so many toggles on here to change. I mean, you can actually change like the active damping, you can change obviously the traction control. Like, there are so many different things going on. This button right here, I mean, DRS, like this is the button which means you can change the angle of the wing at the back here. Obviously this is all very GT3, like this feels exactly the same, but really what you're paying for in the magic with the RS, it's just, you can't even describe it. I am so at home sat in here. I even love how low that you sat down into the car. You feel like part of the chassis. And like you are slightly looking up over the bonnet here, but when you see the louvers and you see all of the carbon fibre and you can look into the wing mirror and see the DRS enabled and the flap going, it's just wicked. I love it. Right, let's get on the road. Starts up off, chassis in track, definitely don't need that for today, put that in sport. It is just wonderful. I mean, like, how ridiculous is the noise of that? The downshifts. I mean, I knew it was going to be good. I knew from the second that I got into the car it was going to be good, but I cannot actually tell you what a symphony it is when you're driving this thing. I mean, all the way up to 9,000 RPM with a decatted straight through exhaust, and everything about the drive feels ergonomic, it feels mechanical, it feels like how a race car should feel. I mean, just the steering is pinpoint perfect, the gear shifts, I mean, I love how short the shift is. The PDK, I've always said this, it's a brilliant gearbox. The kick down, I know I'm just praising it, and you might think like, oh my God, you're drive race cars, or you drive, like say when I'm driving my S15, right? When I tell it to do something, when I put the input, when I input a throttle response or a clutch response, the car does exactly what I want it to do. Most modern cars these days, it's just kind of a little bit soft. It's not as direct. It's a little bit sterile. There is nothing sterile about this car at all. It is so exciting to drive. I've had the biggest smile on my face the entire time because, I mean, this thing lives for the track. If you were taking this around Portimao, something like that, I watched the Chris Harris video on it, of course I did, and he just said how amazing it was and how dynamic it is and acute and agile, all of these buzzwords. But when you come down to actually driving, like when I started making videos on YouTube, it was about the cars that excited me. This car excites me. I love it. The seating position, you're hugged, you're like in your own little cockpit, you're in your own world. Like once you're behind, listen to that. And when you're looking out over the front of the car and you see the louvers on the wings and you see that massive DRS enabled wing on the back, and it's just carbon everywhere. Like I'm a wing stickers centerline girl. Like this is everything encapsulated. It's an amalgamation of all the things that I fucking love in cars into one vehicle. It's a really, really special car. Like I want the GT3. The GT3RS is obviously another massive, massive step forward, but they say, you know what, dream big and all the rest of it. But this is the car that I would absolutely adore. Listen to that, even that. You don't even have words for it. It's absolutely nuts. Like, I wouldn't even be going that fast a lot of the time. I'd just be doing like a first, second, third gear pull just to listen to it. It's actually comfortable. I was expecting it to be a little bit more crashy, but I mean, it's got loads of adjustability. If you want to go nuts with it, turn off all the traction control, change all the damping situation, you can do, and turn this into the full race car that it can be. But for kind of driving around, it doesn't feel that much different to the GT3. Maybe I'm just absolutely loving it off because I just really want one, but everywhere I look, it's perfect. The carbon on the roll cage, the carbon on the seats, I'm in love with it. I haven't been able to push it at all, and obviously when I'm driving these cars, I drive them with respect because Porsche Centre Wolverhampton have lent me this for the day, but it is a car that is going up for sale, so a very big thank you to the owner of the car and also to them for letting me drive it. But even this is enough. This has just satisfied the itch, the urge, all of those other things. It's just magic, guys. I wish I had a dry day for it, but this has been wonderful to even just get to experience it, even if it is a bit of a rainy British summertime day. But I can still do that, so I'm very happy. I better take it back to the dealership before I run away with it. Well, that was my time with the GT3RS. Lads, the car is unbelievable. I just absolutely love it. I mean, it's not just all of the carbon everywhere, and I know I've gone on about it, but it's just the most dynamically wonderful vehicle. And another thing that I forgot to mention was, you see on the 992s, the door handles were those ones which were kind of fingernail breakers. They've gone back to the original actual door handles on this, which I know it's a minor thing, but it's just, again, it helps with the overall package. Like, the car is just fab. I mean, look at it. I'm just in love with it. I mean, look, could you just imagine if this was like my car? No, me either. Well, a big thank you to Porsche Centre Wolverhampton for having me over and allowing me to drive this. Like, it's definitely a bit of a car bucket list ticked. I know what I've got to do now. I've got to figure the plan out. I've also got a pack, so I'm heading off to Italy with Ducati very early in the morning. So I am gonna get myself home. What a day. I've absolutely loved it. I'm really happy to have been able to share this with you, and I feel really excited and happy about making content again, because I will be honest, I kind of lost my way a little bit with some of the videos and just figuring out like what is my purpose here on YouTube and what content am I making. And actually what I absolutely love is being out there and driving cars, and this has been one of those days. It has been a bit rainy, a bit wet, so like don't crucify me for not pushing it on. Like, I'm being responsible and having respect for obviously the car and the owners, but I had my fill. Right guys, I'll see you on the next video. We'll be back down to Porsche Wolverhampton very, very soon, because we're going to be checking out something else as well, because I am in the market. I'm looking for a new car. I am feeling very 911-ish. So let's have a look, see where it all goes. I'm feeling good, feeling strong again. I'll see you guys super duper soon. Bye.